Alright, here's the setup I got with the DMC 4. It's got the roller on the side. I have an expression pedal going into the multi-jack. I got the TT2. So yeah, I guess I'll kind of just walk through, show what this does, and then I'll show you how to set it up if you want to just kind of copy the settings. So the first thing I did was the hot button on the DMC 4, top left. I got that set for tuner. So pretty basic. Top right button, that just goes between the different pedals. In this case, I only have the HX Stomp set up to it, so that is Dev A basically. So it'll go through different pedals if you had multiple pedals, but right now we're just going to have A. That'll be tap tuner and utility mode. Utility mode is where everything happens here. So if I went back to A, that basically just goes between presets, up and down. Tap tempo, that's pretty self-explanatory. Utility mode. So what I have going on here is short press on the bottom left is going to act like the page button. So you can see here, it's kind of, you know, going from stomp box to separate stomp boxes where you can turn off the blocks to snapshot mode. You know, it's basically, it's the page button, but in button form, you know, foot switch form. So I got that set up for that. Then I do long press on the bottom left for analog bypass. So you can just, you know, bypass the whole HX Stomp. And you can press any button. Any of these buttons will bring you back to on. So the two setups I have for the bottom right, for the short press, I have a CC number message set to number 48. So the long press is set for number 47. So typically what I do with this is for the long press number 47, what I have been doing is going up to the noise gate and setting that to number 47. So for some of my more loud, you know, gain presets, I'll go down here, go to Midi CC, click on 47. So now on the long press, that'll shut it off or bring it back on. For the short press, you know, I could set it up for basically anything. You know, for example, I could go up here to amp, right click on amp, go to MIDI bypass. Now the CC number I have set up for this is number 48. So I just scroll down to number 48, click that, boom. So now when I short press, it turns the amp off, turns it back on. So I had the TT2 set up just so I don't ever get confused. Foot switch 5 is always going to be reverb. On all my presets I set up for the reverb to be bypassed by foot switch number 5. Foot switch 4 is always going to be delay. Okay, so let's go into delay here. Scroll down here. You'll see what I have here is expression pedal number 1 I have set up for depth. Now in this particular case, because I have the roller, that is what's going to act like expression pedal number 1. That is how HX Stomp sees this. So one thing that hung me up for quite a while was you would assume that using this would be expression pedal number 2. But actually I had to go in and do a little bit of a workaround, set up the multi-jack to act as a middle CC number, in which case I picked CC number 4 because that was still open in the HX Stomp. So then you just assign whatever you want the expression pedal to control, right click on it, scroll down to MIDI CC, and go up to number 4. So everything that you want the expression pedal to control, you just right click on it, go down to MIDI CC, go up to number 4. And now it's going to be controlling all of that. Smooth. Okay. So how did I set this up? All right, well, let's just walk through all of it. Unplug this guy. We get up to setup mode like this. Now this is pretty much the same on DMC4 and DMC3XL. The DMC Micro is pretty much the same too. The only thing is you have much less buttons. You can still do utility mode. You're basically just dealing with these 2 buttons. On the DMC3XL, you have 3 buttons where the center top button acts like what this one does on the DMC4. I actually have all 3. I've got them set up pretty much the same way. So plug this guy in. Watch it scroll through. When it says Gen 3, press down on these 2 till it says setup, then let go. Okay, so let's just walk through all of them. All right, actually let me click out of here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, preset mode. This is how you select what you're doing if you want to change the, I don't know, sub menu, I guess we'll call it. So I got that on 12. That doesn't really matter here. We're not really using it. Preset channel. We're not really using any of these right now. Dev A, of course, that's going to be for HX Stomp. You know, if you wanted to use a different pedal, just for example, you could go like this and scroll up and it shows you all the different pedals. But in this case, we're using the HX Stomp. Hit it again to get out of there. Okay. Dev B, Dev C, Dev D, those are different pedals. You would do the same thing if you wanted to. You could set up 4 pedals on here. But in this case, we're only dealing with the HX Stomp. So, past that. I don't have the looper turned on in this because the HX Stomp has a loop, which I have been assigning to Footswitch 3 here. So, every time I have a loop inside a preset, I'll go into HX Edit and assign the loop block to Footswitch 3. Okay, so expression, we're not using that here. This is the expression jack. Right now, I'm not using it. Maybe I'll get some sort of pedal in the future that I'll use it, but like I said, the expression pedal is going into the multi-jack. Okay, jack. I've got that set to utility. Okay. Jack channel is A. That's, for example, Dev A, which is what we have assigned to the HX Stomp. So if you wanted to have the input of the jack, in this case the expression pedal, to be doing multiple pedals, you would change it to, you know, channel B, channel A and B, channel, you know, you get the point. But in this case, we're just doing A. Jack channel, let's see if we did that. Okay, roller, I've got for expression. All right, roller channel, also A, just like everything's going to be here. All right, 4 button, that's in reference to this. I've got it set for tuner for the HX Stomp. All right, 4 button channel, do you know what it's going to be? A000. All right, this is just for display. You know, it's on, of course. Clock we're not dealing with these, not dealing with these. Okay, utility on. All right, now we're getting into the semantics of everything. All right, so utility is going to be on. These things have to be exact if you want this to act the same way that I have this set up. Okay, so ULT is set to 1. ULN is set to 71. Okay, now just for what this has to do with is this button acting as the page button. So that's what we're setting up right now. So ULN is 71, ULL is going to be 0, ULH is going to be 5, ULC is going to be A0000. So what we just programmed there was this button to act as the page button on the HX Stomp. Okay. Now, UAT. Now we're getting into basically the alternate function of this button, which means long press. Okay. In this case, long press is going to be, I have it set up for analog bypass. UAT is set to toggle. UAN is set to 70. UAL is set to 1. That could probably be a 0, but we'll just keep it there. UAH is set to 127. UAC is set to A000. Okay, so that was for this for analog bypass. Okay, next thing we're going to set up is the bottom right. So this is basically programming this button to send out a CC Midi message of number 48. So every time that we want to turn something on or off, we would go into either a block on HX Edit or any sort of parameter inside the block, such as depth or mix or whatever. Right click and assign that to CC48. And then every time you hit this button, it would turn it on or off. Okay, so URN we have set up to 48, URL we have to 0, URH is 127, URC is A0000. Okay, now the next one is going to be the alternate function of the bottom right button, which is basically long press. It's going to be the exact same thing, except we're going to set it up to CC message number 47. In my case, I'm going to set up all the noise gates on the different presets to be able to turn on or off by CC message number 47. So I would just long press this button and it would turn the noise gate on or off. Okay. So UBT I have set to toggle. UBN is 47. UBL 0. UBH is 127. UBC is A000. Okay. Now, UJN, this is the multi-jack. This is setting the function at a multi-jack. In my case, I'm using the expression pedal as the multi-jack, and I'm doing it via CC message number 4. So here we have number 4. That's the CC message. So in the future, what we would do is go up to here, like I have, go down to MIDI CC, go to number 4, select number 4. Now every time that I do this, well, it's not going to do it here because I'm in setup mode, but it would change the feedback, you know, by expression pedal. So anyway, UJN is number 4, UJL 0, UJH 127. Okay, so we're out of that. So now the multi-jack is set up for expression pedal input. The name, you can do whatever you want. That's scroll the first 4 letters of the preset if you want to do that. You can turn it off, you know, whatever. So USB, we're not going to deal with that. Protocol dump, that's factory reset. We're not going to deal with that. So now we're back to where we were. Okay, so long press the top right button to save all of your settings. Okay. So now we're back in regular mode. So like I said, this will change the presets if you want to do it like that. This will do tap tempo. This is your utility mode. Okay, so let's bring it up. There's your input gate on the screen there. A long press. Didn't catch it that time. All right, what's going on here? Oh, I don't have it set up. All right, I turned it off earlier. 47. 47. Okay, now So I got that set to number 47. So let's say, I don't know, we'll set this to number 48. So now when I hit this button short, it's going to turn it off, it's going to turn it on. Obviously that's not something we really want to do, but just for example here, that's showing you what it does. Okay, so none. Alright, that's my tuner. This switches between the different banks. This will be analog bypass. Well, this will act as page. This is hard to do with fingers. It's much better with feet. So, there you go. I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, thanks.